Hi, good morning, everybody. Larry Higgins of KWigglers. We're in Corpus Christi with pro teamers Capt Chris, Elliott, and James Sanchez. Brandon, get over here. Junior pro teamer Brandon Villareal is going to join us today. We just got in late last night. We're about to head out. It's kind of nice, actually. First week of January. I do have a base layer on, but I'm not even wearing a jacket. I don't know if that's going to help the fishing or not, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, we're about 2 weeks after a really, really cold snap. Water temperatures got really cold here. I went out probably 2 days after that nasty front and was seeing water temps of 44, 45 degrees in the bottom of the intercoastal. Water temps are mid-60s now, but what we're noticing is the bait hasn't really pushed back up into the flats yet. We're seeing everything still out deep. So because of that, we're going to try something a little different today. We're actually going to take 2 boats, and we're in one boat. We're going to wade like we normally do when we do these videos, and Captain James is actually going to go out and do some drifting in some deeper water and see, kind of test it and see which pattern works the best.
Yeah, well, there's a second reason he's drifting, because his new name is Sir Limps-a-Lot now.
Yes, it is, yeah.
So.
I fell here at Bluffs Landing here about a month ago now, and I partially tore my MCL, my right knee, and another muscle in my thigh. And so yeah, doctor didn't clear me to wade probably till the end of January. So I've been drifting. I finally got the okay to fish. Fished on New Year's Day, and I've been fishing about 4 times now this week. It's been decent. I've had a couple good days where I've had over 15, 20 trout. I know yesterday we had almost 30 trout. I mean, if it had been the old limits at that, we would have had almost 3-man limit of trout that we let go. And then one of those included a 5-pound trout too. And like we're talking about too, that a lot of the bait, you got to fish where the bait's at right now. And like I've been finding, it's all been out deep in like at least 3 to 4 feet of water, and that's where the majority of fish have been. Working along those color changes, right next to that cleaner water like that, right on these deep grass lines, deeper sets of potholes, things like that. And man, plastics have been killing it, and I've been throwing topwaters too, when the situation calls for it. But it's all been about plastics at this point, and but it's been pretty good, better than I expected.
In conditions, I think the full moon's tonight.
Yep.
Winds was it 10 to 20?
Yeah, it's gonna be about 10 to 20 today. Like he said, full moon is tonight, so kind of hoping for a real good aggressive bite today.
Yeah, we got a minor coming up here actually in about 45 minutes, and also too we got a major about 11:30 to about 1:30 today too. So. Between those windows and also too with the winds increasing today, that's also going to help. And the water's already dirty, which is not a bad thing. And the tides finally dropped too. Finally. It took almost 2 months for them to really drop. And it's starting to concentrate the fish more in certain areas. And hopefully we'll capitalize on those today, either with these guys waiting or hopefully we'll be drifting.
We also have we don't have a real front coming tomorrow, but we do have more or less a cold front that'll be coming mid-morning tomorrow, so this is technically pre-frontal as well. So
sounds like y'all are guaranteeing we're gonna go catch a bunch of fish.
Oh yeah, definitely trophy gap tops all day long.
2 rods, or it's 2 boats, lots of rods,
all day. So we'll
somebody's bound to catch a fish.
You mentioned gap tops, make Captain Wayne proud.
Oh, I will. Oh yeah, I want to slime it up today. So yeah, let's do it.
All right,
let's go. What's happened though is like we've got so many ducks this winter that a lot of the flat, we start getting farther up, there's not much grass anymore. The ducks eat it all.
No shit.
Yeah, the ducks just keep eating everything. So basically here, I mean, we're probably probably thigh deep. We're still on the flat, but what's going to happen is it kind of goes out and it's going to drop a little bit. It's not going to drop a lot, but it's going to drop 4 or 5, 6 inches. There's like a little belly.
I see a little bit of a color change up there. Is that it?
Yeah, and then it picks back up, and then it drops off into like 4 foot of water, 4 or 5 foot of water out there, where that dirty stuff is, that deep water is.
So if we don't hit them on the way, you think we'll hit them on that ledge?
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll start here. We're gonna work a line here. We're gonna start shallow because for the first time in several weeks now, the bait is shallow. There's bait everywhere on this flat.
Yeah.
But it's also on the drop, so we'll spread out. We'll give this a little bit and see, and then if we need to, we'll start working a little deeper.
Like a plan.
only threw this bait for like 5 minutes. I got one good hit and lost it. But those scrapes go from here all the way to the tail. Would have been a good flounder to start the day with. Oh well. The fish are in here. The freaking bait's going nuts. But now it's like the fish are just not quite, they don't want to fully commit to anything yet. The fish we are catching, looks like Larry's got something a little better. The fish we have caught, I've noticed they're hooked on the outside of the head, they're hooked dead center in the mouth. They're getting decent hits, but just not quite ready yet. What's he got? Oh, he got good trout.
Alright, so we're not gonna wait in this flap. We got Chris and Brandon over here. We're just kind of spread out. The bait is everywhere. It doesn't really look like there's a concentration. We've caught a few smaller fish, throwing everything from ball tails to wiggle-os and paddle tails, and had some bites, and they're not really feeding aggressively. So I decided to put the Big Kelly on. It used to be called the Big Kelly. We're calling it the Big K now. And not a big trout. Just caught this one's about 3 pounds. Much more solid than what we were catching. This thing just slammed it, and you can see that's a big bait, and it's all the way down the gullet. It hit pretty hard. If you look, y'all have seen this in Wayne talking about the videos. It's got all those lice on its belly. So these fish are they're not super active right now. That kind of explains the bite. But hopefully it picks up here in a few minutes, and we start catching a few more of these solid ones or something bigger. All right, so we're still waiting the same flat. The bait's still doing the same thing. It's just a real sporadic bite. They're not really feeding. I just caught that one on the Big Kelly earlier, the Big K. That's a slow sinking bait. So I thought, well, I'll try something a little different. It's a smaller profile. It's a Lily, Barbaretta Lily. It's a slow sinker. They have a floater and a slow sinker. So I put that slow sinker on. They're getting a little bit bigger. So that's a 5-pound trout right there. But you can see where it's hooked. So if they were feeding aggressively, this thing would be in its mouth. It just kind of foul hooked on the side right there. More than likely, it just kind of swiped at it, not really feeding, but it hooked a good enough. I was able to land it. So nice trout, 5 pounds. Still this one too, just like we talked about. Sea lice on the belly. Hopefully here in a little bit they really start to feed a little more aggressively. But the reason, when they're like this, we just try different things. Different jig heads, different retrieve, different plastics, straight tails, paddle tails, the Big K. I threw a top water for a little while. It's, I think just something slow, like these slow sinkers, these bigger ones seem to, you get it from them just right, maybe they'll swipe at it. But we'll cut this one loose and keep on casting. That looks pretty good. Yeah. That's one thing about these little treble hooks. They stick to everything. Alright, good fish. Hopefully we can find one that's a little bit bigger.
We caught a pretty good chunk of fish. They really hadn't been committing. Larry's stuck, like the 3-pounder, 5-pounder. A lot of them have been kind of small. I kind of started working my way to the transition where the grass stops. And if this fish will cooperate, we finally got what we wanted. Got a second wind. Trick with these fish, don't rush it. You get to you, they start going berserk. 9 times out of 10, they're going to throw that lure. Take your time with them. Wait for her to give herself up. She hit it hard. Still hooked in the roof of the mouth. Right at 5. Another 5 pounder. Good fish. Goes. Nice. Alright, let her roll. You try not to let her head go up. Just let her do her thing. Keep her away from you. There you go. Take your time. There you go. You might have us beat. Get pictures of that. Come on, Jimmy.
So right now we're working this flat right now. I just had a trout bite right now, right in front of me. Just sitting right here. Weighed about 4 pounds. Caught it off.
Nah, that fish over 5.
Caught it off the plumb perfect ball tail. Oh, we can keep going.
Good one. Yeah, that's a good flounder. Mid-morning, it started a little slow. We pulled in here on this flat and there was bait, everywhere. Acting nervous, saw some slicks going. Kind of started off a little slow, catching little small trout. And then all of a sudden for about probably about a 45-minute, hour-long period, the fish got bigger. We got several fish over 3. Got 3 fish that were over 5 pounds. Nice flounder, redfish. But now, we're kind of back in that lull. The bait's not as active. It's a lot quieter. The fish that we're catching now are back to being that smaller stuff. Like Larry got one on right now, reeling in a little dink. But we're about, 45 minutes, hour away from the major. I really think that midday major is going to be the key for us today. I mean, we're one day before the full moon, so really hoping that major this afternoon is what really gets these fish going. Like I said, we caught the fish earlier this morning, but even during that time that we were catching them, they weren't real aggressive. So really haven't seen a good feed yet. So, we're going to stick it out here, be patient, and we'll see what that major does.
Yeah, it seems like we're getting into wads of little trout, and here and there you catch one a little bit bigger, maybe 20 inches or so. I haven't had a bite in a while. Chris was hooking up every cast, and I don't think I've caught one 10, 15 minutes, and this one, I'm throwing a junior ball tail. This one right here. This is on a 1 8-ounce jig head. Like I said, this is in some other videos I talked about some we're working on. I think it pairs really well with these smaller baits, and especially if it's a finicky bite like we were having earlier today. I just like having a little bit smaller hook. Seems to get more hookups. But that's another good one for the day. Real good. Hey, I saw the Brad. I saw the tail. It came up like a trout.
I mean, it came up and through water, and you can see the white from the sand. It was like, oh yeah, man.
So if you want to come down here and chase some trophy black drum on soft plastics, Capt Chris Elliott, your man.
This has been a running joke in our group of friends for a long time. And of course, when they bring the cameras down, unbelievable.
All right. So it's a good day. The cameraman gets to fish. He catches a good one. We've caught tons of smaller fish in here, 2 to 3 pounds, and how many 4 or 5 pounders? This being the fifth.
That was the fit.
So it's a good day. Let's see if I can get this out of here.
5 pounds seems to be the mark we're chasing.
It's not dunk the reel. This cameraman, I got off the boat, no weight out, brought the rod, caught so many fish on this paddle tail that I had to bite the head off so that I could screw the spring lock back on it to keep catching fish. And as you can see, it clearly worked out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let her go. Go.
What it's all about. Not quite what we're here looking for, but I'll take it. Good red. So basically, there you go. All we're doing is we're kind of just set up in a little cove right now with the wind at our back. Sun's going down. It's been a pretty good day. trying to see if we can't, top it off with another good fish. Basically, we're just fishing a couple little ledges right here, and eventually it drops off into the deep water. Just bouncing bobtails on the bottom. See if we can't pull out one more good trout before we go home. We got another probably 20 minutes. We're gonna be out of here.
All right, so it's pushing 7 o'clock. We just got off the water, got everything situated on the boats, and changed out some wet, old clothes. Most of us, actually, I have about a 4-hour drive ahead of me, but good day on the water. Yeah, we split forces kind of, wade fishing with Capt Chris over here, and then James was doing his thing. What do y'all think?
Go ahead, man.
So, in all honesty, we kind of stuck, when it comes to the wading, we kind of stuck to one area for most of the day. And we grinded it out from the start. It started pretty slow. And then, we started catching smaller trout, caught a pretty good flounder. And then, probably about mid-morning, the wind picked up and the bite picked up. We end up with five fish over 5 pounds.
Yeah, there's a couple of 4s, a few 5s. Brandon here caught his new personal best.
Yep.
2 nice flounder too.
Yeah, some nice flounder, redfish mixed in.
Don't forget the black drum.
A couple black drum, of course.
All right, and James on the other, he was, sort of limps a lot.
I got
He was working from the boat.
Yeah, I got my knee brace on right now, so ran farther south than Chris. Had a game plan. Found everything that was right as far as all the bait on grass lines and deeper water, about 3 feet. Caught a few fish, but nothing we're really looking for. And I couldn't get into the areas again because of other anglers. So ran back up north, just south of Chris over here, and started working the same area along drop-offs, and man, it paid off. As soon as we got in there, started catching trouts, boom, boom, boom. All good keeper fish for the most part. We had probably 20 trout today. Not a lot, but the quality was good. All 2.5, 3 pound fish. Even a 29-inch red. Anyways, but the big highlight of the day was we were working a big color change, and it was dirty water, and I was throwing a popping cork, a 3-inch 4-horseman cork with a bobtail, bone diamond bobtail underneath, just working the area. Couldn't see any potholes, nothing, but there's bait in there, not a lot. But it was acting right. I had a good feeling about sticking it out, and it paid off. I ended up with a 29-inch trout that weighed like just under 8 pounds. Beautiful fish. My personal best for my boat on here, and the the biggest since the freeze. Sorry about my voice.
Yeah, James can't talk because there should be, hopefully we can salvage a video off of his boat. I'm sure he was talking a lot all day.
Yeah, it was windy. We did our best, but up shallow. A lot of the fish were up there about, the better fish were out there in about thigh deep water along these color changes where the potholes were at. Especially the sets were mostly sand with scattered grass beds in them. Those were the hot areas today. Hot areas today for us.
Yeah. No, all in all, it was a great day out here today. Glad we made the trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Jody got some good footage of James, and I'm sure James explained a lot of stuff on drift fishing, fishing with the boat, working with popping corks. We had a great day wading. It was a good time.
We really got to see a lot of stuff develop. We got to see the different stages of the bite. Like I said, when we first pulled up this morning, we talked about it in the video, you hear it, there was bait everywhere. There was bait, there were slicks, everything looked great. We got out of the boat and we caught nothing. We stuck it out, grinded the area real slow, not walking real fast, and then it started with the smaller fish, and the fish got a little bigger, they turned into, keeper fish, and then all of a sudden the fish got big, and we're catching overslots, catching 5-pounders, and then it was like somebody flipped a switch and it was off again.
Yep.
And then it was off.
Chris said it. We worked slow. I remember asking Brandon later. I said, "Normally, would you have been walking ahead of that?" He said, "I would have been way up there." So we were just being real slow, real patient, and it worked out. Patience was the key there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, patience and just sticking with, just when you have the right signs there, don't move, especially during some type of major player, whether it's wind increasing, a major or minor feed, things like that. Those little things like that is what can separate you from having a good day or a bad day. Excuse me.
A good day or what?
Or a bad day. Sorry. A good day or a bad day. Those little factors like that. So, and yeah, I'm just glad it worked out for both of us, today and all you guys.
No, if y'all want to come down here and fish up Laguna or Baffin, either of these guys, James would be healthy enough to start wading again here pretty soon.
Yeah, another month.
Real soon.
Hopefully my voice will come back too.
And you've seen the other stuff. You've seen the stuff we've done with them before, whether it's sight casting for redfish, the trout fishing, whatever. Just get in touch with these guys on social media, or we'll have a link to their number too at the end of the video.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoy and learn some tips today.
All right.